Hi, in this video I'm going to go through how I implemented the inspect movement sound. So let me just show you the sound itself in game. So as you can hear, the slower I rotate it, the calmer the sound, and the faster I rotate it, the more heavy and hectic the sound kind of gets. And then when I let go of the button, it then springs back into place. So how did I do this? So in FMOD, here is the event for the scroll. If we play this, and I'll move the parameter. So I have 3 different scatter instruments here. Let me just play a few. So this scatter instrument has very light sounds that are recorded, just paper, that sounded really nice, and just recorded little snippets of that. And here are the medium sounds. And then for the heavy, the faster the velocity, the more you'll hear those heavy sounds. We can also see here is the spawn rate is being increased, so you hear more of those sounds, and the pitch is also being increased. This just helps with it feeling like it's moving. Beginning, we have a bit of a fade in with the audio volume, and we fade in and out of the different scatter instruments. So this is a blueprint that deals with the rotation of the inspected item. Here in the pink box, we are checking if we're viewing the item, and we're checking if the button is being held down. If we are, this goes into this branch here. If we are, then we go into the sequence. The sequence then has a little debug, which just shows the velocity. We reset a do nothing up here. We come to that later. And the last one is the actual bulk of the rotation. So we take the axis value and we put that in combine rotators, and we combine that with the spawned item that we've got. And we also set the previous object rotation. That is useful for calculating the velocity. We then set the actor rotation, and that then sets the current object rotation. So with that, we can set the velocity. If we go into this macro here, this is what is calculating the velocity. We are working out the difference between the previous object rotation and the current object rotation. We're breaking that out into the axis. We want the absolute, so we want to deal with positive numbers here. And then we're doing the classic speed, distance, time calculation here. So we know the distance, which is the difference between the rotation, and we're dividing that by delta seconds. And then we're adding all that together, and then we're clamping it between a range of 0 to 100, which is what the FMOD parameter is looking for. And then we feed that velocity into the parameter. This is what's driving the sound. So what if we let go of the button? We do a little check if we're not holding the button, and then sets the rotation back to its original position. So how do we do that? So we're getting the item inspect rotation. That's where we're starting off our timeline. So then we come to this timeline, we start it, and on the update, we're checking if we're viewing the item because we can just leave it. And we want to get to the default item rotation. That's where we want to end up. We are looping between those two as the timeline updates. And then we're doing the same sort of calculation as before to get the velocity. We're seeing the previous object rotation, we're setting it, and then we're getting the current object rotation. We're then working out the velocity with the same macro here, and then we're setting the value of this FMOD parameter to drive that event. And when the timeline is finished, we then just set the parameter to 0. So that's the implementation for the rotation sound for the inspect items in the game. Thank you for watching.